really is something to this Cody Crybaby thing, it seems. On Monday Night Raw, you had Cody Rhodes doing a sit-down interview with Michael Cole. And Cody Rhodes started bringing up Dusty Rhodes. He brought up family, brought up his sister, his wife Brandy, his mom Michelle. And then Cody was getting emotional, but he broke down. With this, you see this a lot now in the modern day wrestling. With WWE and with AEW as well. You see wrestlers cutting some emotional promos where they do start to, choke up a bit and start to cry. It happens with some of the women. Your Liv Morgans, Bianca Belairs, Becky Lynch, Selena Vega. It seems to be more of a thing in this modern generation. When I think back to the Attitude Era, when I think back to characters like Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock, you would never see these guys cry. And so The Rock, I think, is definitely was onto something with this Cody Rhodes Crybaby thing. And on his YouTube channel, you had Vince Russo, who's not exactly a fan of the Cody Rhodes character. He's blasting Cody Rhodes for this promo where he got a little bit emotional, and also addresses Cody's some cryptic remarks that Cody made in a promo that we believe to be directed to be about Vince Russo. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to play the clip and I'll react as it's going along.
Okay, then we've got the Cody, bro. This story isn't about me. It's all about you. It's about Haley and it's about Hannah. And I might not, by God, be able to hand the title over to my dad, but I sure can hand it to my mother. And here come the freaking tears. And, bro, get the fuck out of here. Can we get one thing straight, Ben? I'm a little older than you guys. Here's what I can't wrap my head around. Bro, I saw Dusty when he was in the WWF before the polka dot era, okay? Bro, Dusty was never a WWE guy, ever. He was a special attraction, bro. When Vince Sr. brought him in, he brought him in as a special attraction. Then, bro, when he was polka dot Dusty, bro, he was never at the top of the card, bro.
He said the polka dots was a rep, huh?
Freaking mid-carder. He was never challenging for the WWF title, ever. So I'm missing the whole story about my father never got the WWF title. Bro, he was never a WWF guy. He was a Mid-South guy. He was a Florida guy. He was a Georgia Championship Wrestling guy. He was never bro, it would have been like the equivalent of like a Savage never getting the WWF. I don't understand, because if you know your history, bro, he was never in a WWF title picture, ever, bro. So this whole thing, the story isn't about me. It's about Haley and Hannah and my sister, and I can't hand this title to my father, but I can hand it to... This mamby-pamby crying bullshit. Bro, remember how hot Tom Hanks got when the girls' softball team was crying? Remember how hot Tom Hanks got? Yeah. Bro, every freaking week, this dude is crying on television. Bro, get freaking therapy. Like, seriously, man, you badly need therapy. If you are on the edge of weeping like a baby every freaking promo, you need, literally, bro, you need some kind of therapy.
I mean, there's your Botchamania clip where you cut to Tom Hanks. There's no crying in wrestling, and fucking cut to him crying in the ring right there. They could close the whole show with that pretty much. But Tom Hanks also on a show called Bosom Buddies before his career took off and got the Congressional Medal of Honor and frazzle dripped his way to wherever he is now. So
you're talking about movies like Be Cool and other ones where board members were dressed as an actor like gay cowboys and stuff.
And then
making reference to The Rock and Be Cool, the movie.
He's cutting this whole promo about Haley and Hannah and all these people, right? And then He brings up his wife, who he knows everybody hates. Why would you bring up your wife? And did you hear the reaction when he said Brandy, bro? Like they were biting their tongue not to boo her out. Why would you bring up your wife that you know everybody hates?
I don't know, but he has to. This is the point where if Cody's smart and he does win the title, he turns heel immediately the night after he turns heel.
I'm with you, Stevie.
You have to. And also, you know, baby faces that have this kind of journey and then win the title, if they're not somebody polarizing like a Shawn Michaels or some character like that, it's going to fall so flat after that. So I would lean into the title instantly turns him into a monster. Instantly turns him into everything Dusty wasn't. Now the pocket watch and striped suit and all this stuff, that can come into play. And he was showing them all along exactly who he really is. That's the only way to save it, in my opinion. He used everybody to get to the point. Now he got to the point. Now he's going to shit on everybody. And Vince will love that.
I felt, Ben, I think you definitely made some references towards me during that promo.
That's what they said. That's what being said, right?
Yeah, bro. I say all those things with the freaking suits and the big words that nobody understands. And he referred to me as Jerry Springer, which I take as a high compliment.
Well, it's because you're transphobic. That's what he said, you know,
exactly.
Obviously.
Right, yeah, so Cody, I think, said something about, you know, all these, you know, old head bitter podcasters who want Jerry Springer TV because, you know, Vince Russo said a lot that, you know, the Attitude Era, the inspiration for that was from, you know, when he was at Vince's house in Connecticut, you know, Jerry Springer would be in the back, and that's when himself and Ed Ferrara would write TV. But with this stuff, with this video, I mean, Russo is some character. He's pretty entertaining a lot of the time. You know, I mean, first off, on the whole Dusty Rhodes thing. So yeah, Dusty Rhodes at one point was a special attraction when he was in the WWF or the WWF, and then when the whole polka dot thing, I guess he was like a mid carder at best, right? And I mean, yeah. So Dusty was a big. Like, in the WCW, NWA, Georgia Championship Wrestling, yeah, he was a big name. I mean, he had the big feud with him and Flair. You know, that's known as a classic feud, right? And that's where the Hard Times promo, where that came from. But I suppose the whole thing with Cody is that I guess the Rhodes family, I guess, felt slighted that Dusty was never seen as the guy, and he was the champion, you know, in WWE. But, I mean, ultimately, you know, the thing with that, though, with Dusty Rhodes at that point when he went to WWF, he was like 45, 46, I believe. And, you know, Dusty Rhodes, you know, when Hogan was the main man and he had Ultimate Warrior there and Savage still, Dusty was never going to get a lick in at that main event title picture. That's just ultimately the way it goes, right? I mean, the whole thing with the crying, I mean, that's a good point. Sometimes it's just a bit too much when you see these, you know, wrestlers crying all the time. You know, back when I started watching wrestling, I was 9, you start to have this perception with wrestlers that, you know, they're more than just like the average Joe in the street. You know, they don't show emotion. You would never see them crying. And I remember it was like, you know, like take a character like Stone Cold Steve Austin. He would never be crying as a babyface. Are you kidding me? And there was a big thing when one time he did cry, but this is when he was a heel and he was in that feud with Kurt Angle. And because Austin stole the gold medals, and then, you know, Angle, what happened was like he hit him like a lead pipe or something, took his pickup truck. Austin was on the back of the truck, abducted him, and then got him to this bridge, and he was threatening to throw him off the bridge, but then he said to Austin, I want you to cry for me. And Austin gave these kind of like pathetic tears. It was like, so the first time you ever seen Stone Cold Steve Austin cry, which was, even as a 10-year-old kid, was quite surprising. But I suppose he was a bad guy heel, so that was like, okay, you could give that a pass, right? But you would never see in that shoot guys like Undertaker cry. You would never see, you know, Rock cry. You would never see Triple H cry. It is a little bit of this mamby-pamby bullshit, but that's just maybe a bit of a reflection in the culture that, you know, we live in today, where maybe, you know, there's been some good with things that have changed, but then there's maybe some bad too. You know, bringing up with Dusty, you know, I mean, I don't mind it. You know, this is his father. His father passed away. That, you know, that's terrible for anyone to go through. But I do remember feeling last year that, when it was like a couple of weeks back to back and it's just Paul Heyman and Cody Rhodes talking, and the main thing was about Dusty. It wasn't even about the WWE Championship at this point, which showed to me that creatively they didn't know what they were doing, really. But bringing up the whole thing with the family, and then the point there with Brandy Rhodes, because maybe Brandy played a part in that when the fans were turning on Cody, that it was more maybe with Brandy as well. They found her a little off-putting. But it can be just a little bit too much sometimes with all these, just like, the crying, Liv Morgan, I've noticed her, she's one for that. I remember even Triple H getting a bit emotional, and I think this was like a shoot as well. He was getting emotional over Seth Rollins. This was after Seth Rollins won the Royal Rumble in 2019, and he was going on to face Brock Lesnar at Mania, and I was thinking, oh, come on, give it a break. So I'm with Russo on this for blasting with Cody, with the whole crying and all the other BS, the Cody Crybabies, and on that point of Cody potentially turning heel, I don't think they've got the balls to do it. I don't think it's going to happen. They'll be going now for the big, moment, send all the fans home happy. He's finally done it. He's done the big one. He's finished the story. That's ultimately what I think is going to go down. Now, could The Rock turn on Roman? I believe so, because then Roman's got an out that he didn't exactly lose fairly, cleanly. So I think that's probably what will happen. But I don't think they're going to turn him heel, because they're too afraid to, and maybe they haven't got the people there in creative that would be that would be able to have the brains to come up with that, for it to be effective. And I think Cody himself even said, he didn't want to turn heel, doing the whole because he's now got children and that he wouldn't ever want to go back to being a heel. So he wouldn't be for it. But, I mean, with this, what I see happening is, Cody will have the title, it'll be the big moment, the family will come in the ring, there'll be the confetti, and then there'll be the Raw after WrestleMania. Cody opens the show, and he'll be able to get a word in, it'll be all the European crowd chanting and acting all crazy. Okay, all fine and dandy. But then after that, what happens? Where does Cody Rhodes go from there? They might keep the belt on him for a year. My guess would probably be he'll hold it for about a year to ensure that there's some more to add more credibility to his run. But I feel that this won't be a very memorable title reign with Cody Rhodes. So I feel that this actually could be kind of like a less than stellar title reign, which is a shame. And I think from what they're saying, absolutely, I'm with them. Cody Rhodes would be much more entertaining as a heel, as a bad guy. But that's my video for now, guys. So feel free to like, hit the subscribe button, and let me know. Give me your take on this stuff. And do you think this is getting a little bit too much now with all these, emotional, so heartfelt promos with wrestlers crying, live on TV? Give me your take. Let me know what you think about all this. But that's me for now, guys. Thanks very much. Cheers. Bye.